Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the aftermatch reaction to Everton 1, Manchester United 1 in the Premier League clash at Goodison today. A fair result, maybe. It's a mad one, this, because I thought the first half I thought both teams were poor. I think United were better. They seemed in more control of what they were doing. They passed it around quite well. Ibrahimovic up front. Everything stuck, everything you want from a centre forward. Great first touch, strong on the ball. You know, didn't give our defenders an easy afternoon. They had good runners in midfield, but they didn't really trouble us in the final third at all. And whereas we were content with lumping aimless balls towards Lukaku, who is not the greatest in the air anyway. It was a bit of a mad one. He went with the team, made a couple of changes. Jagielka came out the side. I think he probably needed to come out the side. Aaron Lennon was never going to start today, was he? Kevin Morales come in on the right hand side there, and Tom Cleverley. Yeah, less said about Tom the better probably. He came in for Ross Barkley. Seen a few people on Twitter delighted with that. Ross Barkley with more ability in his left toe than Cleverley's probably got on his whole body. But anyway, that was the changes. And it looked as though Ronald Koeman would want almost a 4-3-3, but a real 4-3-3, and have three flat midfield players in Barry, Garner and Cleverley. But we just, I don't know, we just didn't seem to be able to get into the game. I mean, the game started off, it was quite tight, nip and tuck. We seemed to have to work really hard to get the ball back in the first half, only to just give it away again. You know, United was certainly more in control. Couple of controversial moments in the first half. The first one, Gareth Barry on Ibrahimovic, where I'm sat in the upper Bullens. Lee Dixon was in front of me, all the television screens were there. Barry got the ball. It was robust, the challenge, there's no question about that, but he won the ball, you know. But I suppose they say excessive force, potentially could have been a yellow card. The referee didn't book him, and then booked him for something totally innocuous. 5 minutes later, he couldn't wait to get that yellow card out. And then the challenge by Rocco on Garner was horrendous. It was a straight red card. There was no question about it. Seeing the replays almost immediately, it was a straight red card. 2-footed challenge. How the referee doesn't see it, it's embarrassing for him. You know, he's crap anyway, Michael Oliver. Let's be, you know, not beat around the bush. He's a poor referee. How he doesn't see that is embarrassing for him. Embarrassing for the FA and the Premier League, really, to have your referees live on Sky, live on television, all around the world, and you can't see the most basic of sendings off. Made Aguero's challenge look half decent yesterday. That's how bad it was. And it was only a yellow card. I was disappointed with the Everton players, to be honest with you, in that instance, because Rocco's gone in. It's a really bad challenge. We should be, 4 or 5 of our players should be over there in his face. It's about being nasty and trying to get that we're all in this together. It was a horrendous tackle. Go and defend your mate. Get over there, get in his face. Make the referee have to make a decision. That's how I saw it. We're too nice. It's just like, oh, yellow card? Yeah, all right then. Instead, you know, you see in City and Chelsea yesterday, you know, there was no way Chelsea were letting Aguero off with that challenge. You know, Fernandinho got sent off and everything because they backed each other up. Ours don't back anybody up. Don't back anybody up. Anyway, the referee gave a yellow card, you know, and nothing came of it. And just when the game was kind of petering out to half time, you know, I thought Everton were nice and compact. I thought defensively we done okay. I thought Funes Mori done all right at times, and then at other times he just switches off. He done one fantastic interception when they were through. I think Mkhitaryan was through and he stuck out a leg and stopped that. And he won a couple of headers. Then other times he just gives the ball away and you don't know where you are. I thought Ashley Williams had a really good game. I thought Baines was good. I thought Coleman was much better. And just when the game's kind of petering out at half time, you think, okay, get in at 0-0. Let's start again. It's a long ball, aimless ball for me. Ibrahimovic is running after it. He's into the box. He's got, I think it's Murray in attendance or Williams and Murray's there. And then the goalkeeper, just for no apparent reason, comes flying off his line outside his, but he's never getting that ball, ever in a million years. The defenders are there, let them take care of it, and he comes running out, makes Ibrahimovic's mind up for him. He finishes it brilliantly, don't get me wrong, but what's the keeper doing? Seeing Tim Howard do this at Anfield in one of our recent 4-0 spankings, when Sturridge, I think Sturridge got a hat-trick or got a couple that night, and he come flying out and made Sturridge's mind up for him. You know, stay on your line. Make the if Ibrahimovic goes past our defenders and puts it in, then fair enough. But it was just ridiculous, and we were behind in a game that they hadn't done anything in the game. They can, don't get me wrong, they looked like the better side, but they hadn't carved us open. I mean, we hadn't done anything at the other end either. Balassi had put a couple of good crosses in, which we didn't get on the end of. And other than that, we'd offered absolutely nothing going forward. Lukaku offered nothing. Morales offered nothing. Balassi had a go, but you know, nearly doing anything. So it was quite a. It wasn't a high quality game, but we were going in 0-0. We're behind. Ibrahimovic, great finish, and we go in 1-0 down, and you're just thinking, you know, just from nothing, we're chasing the game. Came out second half, same 11. And for the first 10 minutes of the second half, they gave us we couldn't get the ball again. You know, there was they started playing keep ball. They had a couple of half chances, but again, you know, not really threatening, just looking as though they would. You know, and we had to make changes. We couldn't get back into the game. We made a couple of changes. You know, Delafeu came on. Cleverly went off, thank God. And we mixed it around. Seamus Coleman had to go off. He'd clashed with Ibrahimovic and he hadn't fully recovered from it. I've seen a video after the game. I didn't see this because it was to me left in the corner, but Ibrahimovic has caught him in the face as well with a slide kick, so I wonder if anything will come of that. Didn't think anything of it at the time, to be fair. So, you know, we had to make changes. Holgate came on, was fantastic, just showed why he should have been in the team all along. He come in, he settled right in, won loads of headers. We got Valencia on the pitch and put him next to Lukaku. Delafeu went wide. And I'll be honest, I know I've defended Jerry all the way along, but at the moment, he's not offering nothing. You know, it's not good enough. But just having Anna Valencia alongside Lukaku, all of a sudden, United started to look a little bit more uncomfortable, and we started turning them and threatening them. Now, okay, I'd like us to play a little bit more football than what we play, but needs must. We're not playing well. We have no confidence. We're not winning games. So get it up and at them. Why not? That defence of United, it's not the first choice defence, and it's poor. Let's be honest, got a fabulous goalkeeper, but the rest of it's poor. You know, and De Gea's come up big. He makes a save from Morales. You know, I think that's a fortuitous one. It's his thigh, could go anywhere. It goes over, but he makes himself big. He makes another great save from Ghana. A header from Valencia, which he keeps out. He keeps out a loop and Mason Holgate header. You know, and Everton are pressing and we're stretching them and they're hanging on a little bit. And you're thinking, United hit the bar in that time as well. But Everton, there was just a wave after wave then of pressure. The crowd were picking it up. And we all of a sudden looked like a team that could threaten. As you know, we've been powder puff for over an hour. We get the goal, you know, we get a penalty. Leighton Baines, you know, it's a good move. Garner into the box. Marouane Fellaini back, showing that he's still got some affection for Everton. Gives a penalty away, and then they try all the our last six, which I suppose that's what you're supposed to do when you're away from home. You're winning one, you're trying to put the penalty taker off. And of course, I think this is the only team Baines has missed against in the Premier League. De Gea saved it a couple of years ago. So, you know, it took a long time to high pressure penalty, couple of minutes to go, and Baines just strokes it into the far corner. Absolutely fantastic finish. And we get a rouse and finish. Then straight away we break again, and Baines, he has a shot, and De Gea has to parry it. We get corners. They're, you know, lashing it anywhere. And then obviously, then the game starts. They have a little period of pressure. So we finished in quite a positive vein. You know, we 4-4-2. Started stretching. Morales had a okay last 15 minutes. For the first 75 minutes, I've seen people on Twitter saying he was one man of the match, or as good as they've seen him. Either very easily pleased, or certainly weren't at Goodison Park today. They'd been playing FIFA or something, because he was garbage for most of the game. Because he doesn't offer anything. He is one of those players. He's a bit like Cleverly in terms of he looks like he's making an effort, but he's not really. You know, Delafeu does the same. Sprints, but he won't actually do any. He'll get over there quick. He won't actually do anything. He won't commit a tackle. He just kind of, or he'll jump for a header, but he doesn't really want a header. And I've seen too much of it. But Morales, he did get better. He was better than Delafeu, no question about that. So, you know, 4-4-2, who knew? Holgate, who knew? You know, you can mix it up and play two strikers, and then all of a sudden Lukaku looks a little bit more dangerous. We look a bit more threatening. It's very basic. Now, Ronald Koeman might love 4-3-3, and he might think that's the way to go. And it might be the way to go when he's brought in all the players he wants to bring in. But at this moment in time, we ain't got the players that he wants to do that. He knows, we know it, because we've been watching us try and play one up front for 4 years now, and it hasn't worked. So he needs to realise it now. And Valencia, come on, done everything you want a second striker to do. Won headers, run into channels, just made himself busy. He's not brilliant, of course, he's not, but he's a nuisance as well. And you need a nuisance with Lukaku, because you need to try and free Rom. Because, let's be honest, until Valencia come in, Lukaku, and you wouldn't have even realised he was playing. This is a man that allegedly is one of the best strikers in Europe, according to a lot of people. He's certainly a really good goal scorer. He's up there, you know, in terms of scoring goals. Is he up there yet in terms of putting in a Costa performance? I mean, you looked at Ibrahimovic, everything stuck to him. Powerful, strong man, knocked up, he's back in there and he kills it. His first touch is incredible. He got one chance in the game. Or sorry, he had two. One he scores, the other one gets blocked on the line. So that to me is Lukaku should have been looking at him at a hold-up play, because his hold-up play was incredible and he gave United a platform to play for. But I suppose it's an extra point, you know. It's a positive point. We haven't had many positives the last few weeks. So I think we finished the game quite well. Let's be honest, Martin Stekelenburg's threw one in. You know, and I think we need to look at him now and realise that he's a second or third keeper. We need a new goalie. But he's given United their goal and he's not had to save to make for the rest of the afternoon. De Gea's had to make 3 or 4 good saves. So you could argue we could have won the game. To keep their goalie certainly has kept them in it, because he's made 3 or 4 really good saves and we've scored. So we could have nicked it 2-1. I wouldn't stand there and say we fully deserved to win and they were lucky, because that, you know, the balance of the game and how it felt, United it was even. It was just an even game. So I think a draw is probably a fair result, to be honest. But maybe the little 4-4-2 is a little bit of a positive thing for us to go forward. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section below. We've got another point. We've got 20 points now. We need to start, you know, kept the unbeaten run going at Goodison, which is a good thing. We're going to have to play better from the off against Watford at the weekend. Seen a little thing before that Troy Deeney's been stuck on 99 goals for 2 months, and Watford's next game's us. So get your money on Troy Deeney to score the first goal of the weekend. But we'll have to play better there, and then of course if we start poorly and slowly against Liverpool and Arsenal, they will spank us just from the way they play fast attacking football. So we have to be up and at it for those games. But today's game, 1-1 draw, probably a fair result. Much better the last 25 minutes than for the last few weeks. And yeah, good to see 2 centre forwards on the pitch. I've been Baz. Catch you next time on Toffee TV.